Welcome to my home. It's almost Thursday, so I'm getting ready for my friendship class, but I wanted to share more blessings. This week we're going to talk about little Amelia. She's not so little anymore. She turned 8 this year, and I'm discovering as I go through my albums that often I have so many kids intermingled that it's hard to know which album to share with you. That means I have too many albums. But I want to share a little bit from an early album of Amelia. This is the cutie when I met her down in Stafford, Kentucky. And I have a phrase here, and it says, live out loud. And if I could describe Amelia and my desire for her, is that she would live out loud. And I think she does. She doesn't speak out loud a lot, but she lives out loud. And she was such a sweet, sweet, pleasant baby. Here I took a sparkle photo strip. Rachel wrapped her up in Christmas lights. We have brothers doting over her, and my title of this page is Delight. Sweet, simple life and delight. And Amelia is a delight. It said, I am beginning to learn that it is the sweet, simple things of life which are the real ones after all. Laura Ingalls Wilder. That's a quote from her. And here we even have Amelia in a sort of homesteady hat. And sweet, simple life. Sometimes life is complicated. And Amelia will always get a smile out of you, no matter what situation you're in. And she always has a lot of empathy. I wrote a word here. It's vivacity, liveliness, springliness of temper or behavior, as a lady of great vivacity. Number 2, air of life and activity, as vivacity of countenance. 3, life, animation, spirits, as a vivacity of discourse. 4, power of living. And 5, longevity. So here is my hope for Amelia, that she will live a life of vivacity. Auntie Keijo took these lovely little pictures. Amelia, when she was young, just loved her hands. And Callie Jo took these pictures, and I just absolutely love them. It gets her bright eyes and her intensity in these pictures, and I just love it. More? Skip ahead a little bit. Got other children here. This is her with a cousin that was born only a month and a half after her. But here's sweet little Amelia. I don't know if it was when she was meeting Olivia, but it was just a sweet picture. And here were the first 3 granddaughters. So I'll put that album away now. And then I'm going to show you a collection from different albums. When I look at the pages of all the different families, there are just so many pictures that I've done. I'm almost a little embarrassed how many I've done. But when Amelia came out, she had really wrinkly little fingers. And this is her hand in my hand, and I loved it. And we have a little bit Backstreet Boys there of Noah. We'll skip past that. We used to, again, I sometimes when I look in the old albums, I see the Studio J prints, and here's a picture of her puckery little face when I first met her. And we'll skip over that one because that's another grandchild. But here, when she was learning how to sit up, it's just a great, fun picture of Amelia and a grandpa. And it says, live in the moments, and I think this is, again, a reason we capture these moments. The other book featured this picture. These are Studio J photos again, and if you notice, they actually match the regular paper that I use. And these are just what we call little Laura Ingalls Wild hats. And Hobby. Now I can't remember what the doll was called. Rachel had this doll when she was little. I had it before I had children, and she found one for Amelia when she was young. This is one of my photo ideas for this week. This comes from Rachel. Rachel took pictures of animals, and then she put the cousins on the animals or interacting with the animals. Here's Amelia with an elephant, and Olivia riding a zebra. Jonah's down there on a zebra too, and I think Judah is on top of the elephants. It's just a fun idea of how to Photoshop your kids into other pages. So, for my crafting tip of the day, I have to get the hair out of my mouth here. My crafting tip of the day is, how do we use stamps to interact with children when they have birthdays and such? This is a sweet little stamp. I think it was a stamp of the month. It had to be a couple years back because Amelia turned 8 in May, and this was made 2 years ago. And what I did was I took a stamp and I stamped the image, and then I scanned the image and I made it bigger so it would fit a scrapbook page easily. And I put the little girl, that sort of reminded me of Amelia, and I made her page before I had the picture, and I gave it to her with her birthday presents. And I matched up the little card with the big page. And for a 6-year-old, it was really great because she could see it happen. She could see the page happen. So this happens to be one of the pages that Amelia likes when she looks at her books. Here I just have these pictures aren't even finished, but I put them in here just to show how a big picture looks nice. And this is a blackmail picture. I tell out of Steve that this wig that I had so much fun with the kids is definitely a blackmail picture. But it shows Steve interacting with Amelia and her just really wondering what Grandpa was doing. And I just love it. And here's the other kids wearing clown noses, and this is Amelia interacting with her sister. Now this one, again, has many pictures, has 10 total, but the favorite picture is Amelia in the hat. And one way to accent your favorite picture is make it bigger than the others. So the little pictures tell the story, which is journaled there, but the big picture captures your heart. Now, I'm not a very bright scrapbooker, and sometimes I play with brighter paper. These are her siblings and a friend that's over, and Amelia going down a little slide and telling about this spring weekend. I wasn't even here during this time, and I still feel like I was there by scrapping events that I'm not there. Of course, this year with our separation a bit more, I'm doing a lot more of that type of scrapping, where I will take photos I haven't even, of activities I haven't been included in because I'm not able to go. So the reason I put this page in here is these aren't scrapped yet. They're just put into a page protector. And I don't have a title for this sweet page that Rachel gave me later on of Louisa and Amelia. But at the end of many of my albums, you're going to find these pocket pages that are not scrapped. They just hold some ideas. And so when I'm playing with an album for Amelia, I would then use those to make a page. So my main tip today was take some of your favorite stamped images and make them larger for scrapbook pages. Some of our stamps are made for scrapbook pages, but if you want to make it bigger than life, feel free. It's for your own use. It's okay if you just scan it and use it in your pages. Now I have some blank pages. Well, they're not blank. They're layouts. Let's see, 2 layouts. One says grateful, and one says blessed. Now, I made these in between Thanksgiving and Christmas. I'm not sure if it was last year or even the year before, but I found it when I was going through the albums. And sometimes when we are crafting and we feel like making pages ahead, they don't get photos. But I'm going to take this opportunity when I find pages like this to look through the photos I have or the images on my phone and go ahead and scrap them. And so I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pictures, and I'll have a whole bunch of pictures made. So don't get discouraged if you don't always put photos on them. Just keep my problem is I don't know where I put the finished layouts if they don't have photos in them. So when I do find them, I'm going to try to put pictures on them as I organize my albums. So I shared this verse a couple weeks ago. It's Romans 8:28. All things work together for the good of those who love him. My prayer for Amelia is that she'll always have a heart for God and that she will love him with all her heart. She shows love in many, many different ways to the people she loves. And I pray that she will just grow in the wisdom and knowledge of the Lord and see how God puts all things together for his good. Well, I bundled up in a sweater today. But I think this afternoon it might even get warm for a sweater. But I'm just loving the color change. I'm loving the leaves changing. And I am truly blessed, and I'm lacking in gratitude. I'm wanting to show more gratitude. One thing I'm grateful for, besides my family and my beautiful 10 grandchildren, one thing I'm grateful for is you, and that you stay connected with me, and you craft with me, and that we uplift each other. And so on Thursdays, don't forget, I do a Zoom class or a Zoom talk or Zoom something while I'm crafting, and you're always welcome to join. So have a great week. Have a great Thursday. God bless.